Indifference Curve Analysis. Properties of indifference curve. 1. Indifference curve slopes downward from left to right, telling us that a consumer is having the same level of satisfaction at any point on the indifference curve. 2. Indifference curve cannot be a straight line and sloping upwards from left to right. 3. Two indifference curves cannot intersect each other. How can one combination of two commodities yield two different levels of satisfaction? 4. Indifference curve is normally convex to the origin. 5. Indifference curve cannot be a straight line sloping downward and a concave line. 6. Convexity to the origin means that more of one unit of a commodity is consumed, the consumer is prepared to forego a smaller number of other commodity. Marginal rate of substitution, MRS, is the ratio of prices of two substitutes. According to J.R. Hicks, MRS of X for Y is the quantity of Y which would compensate the consumer for the loss of marginal unit of X. This concept is parallel to the concept of marginal utility. Price line. Price line has several names, viz. Price opportunity line, price income line and budget line. It depicts the highest level or the maximum limit of the consumer's income that can be spent on two commodities, in fact. It may also show the prices of the goods in the market. Consumer's equilibrium. For consumer's equilibrium is necessary that indifference curve must be 1. Concave to the origin, and 2. Tangent to the price line. Following assumptions are made for consumer's equilibrium. 1. There must be scale of preferences for various combinations of two goods. 2. There must be a given and constant amount of money to be spent on two goods. 3. Prices of goods in the market are given and constant. 4. Goods are homogeneous and divisible. 5. The purpose is to maximize satisfaction at any cost. Income effect. Income effect refers to the situation that with every change in consumer's income, there is either increase or decrease in his satisfaction attained from the consumption of purchased goods. Substitution effect. As we know that when there is a change in the price of a commodity, the real income of the consumer automatically changes in contrast. Whereas in substitution effect, in such a case, the real income is to be adjusted, in order to maintain the same level of real income as it was before the price changes. As a result, the quantity demanded increases or decreases in contrast to the price changes. Or in other words, there should be a change in the combination of the two commodities. This shift from one point to another point on the same indifference curve is to be mentioned here as substitution effect. Price effect. Price effect refers to the change in consumer's equilibrium as a result of a change in the price of a commodity, while his income and price of other commodities remaining the same. The price effect is depicted with the help of price consumption line. Price effect equals income effect plus substitution effect. Giffen Goods. Sir Robert Giffen, in the middle 19th century, had observed that when the price of bread rose, the poor bought more bread and less meat and less of some other more expensive food stuff. Giffen goods are inferior goods. Their quantity demanded falls with every decrease in the price. The income effect of Giffen goods are negative. Whereas in case of ordinary inferior goods, the income effect is not as powerful as substitution effect. As a result, when the price falls, the quantity demanded increases. The demand curve of Giffen goods slopes upward from left to right. Analysis of price effect. Indifference curve analysis enables us to analyze the price effect, income effect and substitution. When the price of a commodity falls, besides price effect, these are two reasons for an increase in demand. 1. Income effect. The real income rises, which also tend to increase the quantity demanded. 2. Substitution effect. More consumers will shift their demand from expensive substitutes to a cheaper substitute. This is also known as the technique of compensating variation in income. Exception cases of consumers' equilibrium. For consumers' equilibrium on indifference curve, it is usual that the indifference curve must be convex to the origin and tangent to the price line. But here are some exceptional cases where the consumer is still in equilibrium. Figure A gives concave indifference curves. The consumer is in equilibrium at point P, where the consumer is buying only good Y, or at point L where he is buying only good X. He is not in equilibrium at point Q. Figure B is not convex to the origin and tangent to the price line. The equilibrium point is P. Figure C is similar to Figure B. The indifference curve has lower slope than price line PL. The equilibrium point is L. Figure D represents the case of complementary goods. The indifference curve too is tangent to price line PL, therefore, the consumer is in equilibrium at point C.